Lamar Jackson was ranked as the 18th best quarterback in the 2015 college football recruiting class, so where are the 17 quarterbacks ranked higher than him now? Well, to start, just one spot ahead of him was Jawan Jennings coming out of Moreno Valley, California, who committed to play for the Tennessee Volunteers. And in his 3 seasons at Tennessee, he was a complete bust, only throwing 1 pass, so following this, he transferred to play 1 season at JUCO before transferring to New Mexico. And at New Mexico, he got to see some playing time, but just was not a good quarterback for 2 seasons and is now currently working as an enterprise rent-a-car driver. And just in front of him at number 16 is Ty Storey coming out of Charleston, Arkansas, who committed to play for the Arkansas Razorbacks. And he saw almost no playing time in his first 3 seasons at Arkansas before seeing playing time in 2018, but not being a very good quarterback. Following this, he transferred to Western Kentucky in 2019, where he had a solid year, but just wasn't amazing and never made it to the NFL. And coming in at number 15 is Joe Burrow coming out of the Plains, Ohio, who committed to play for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And in his 3 seasons with the Buckeyes, he saw basically no playing time and was a backup quarterback. So in 2018, he decided to transfer to play for LSU. And this was a great decision, as in his senior season at LSU, he had the best college football season of all time. He won the Heisman Trophy and threw for over 5,000 passing yards and 60 touchdowns, which allowed him to be selected first overall in the 2020 NFL Draft by the Bengals. And in his first 5 seasons in the NFL with the Bengals, he completely turned around their franchise and was the best quarterback in the NFL this season. And at number 14 was Quinton Dormady coming out of Bowen, Texas, who committed to play for the Tennessee Volunteers. And in his 3 seasons at Tennessee, he didn't really see much playing time, mostly as a backup quarterback, and then transferred to Houston. And in his 1 season at Houston, he basically saw no playing time there, so he transferred to Central Michigan in 2019, where he had a solid season, but sadly went undrafted. And he's bounced around many different leagues and teams and is currently playing for the Memphis Snowboats of the UFL. And at number 13 is Sam Darnold coming out of California, who committed to play for USC. And in his 2 seasons as USC starting quarterback, he was truly amazing and was a special player, as he'd actually be a first-team All-Pac-12 selection and then would go on to be selected 3rd overall in the 2018 NFL Draft by the Jets. And with the Jets, he only played there for 3 seasons, as he was a complete bust, and then bounced around the NFL as a backup quarterback and signed with the Vikings this offseason. And with the Vikings this season, he was great and turned around his NFL career. And at number 12 was DeAndre Francois coming out of Orlando, Florida, who committed to play for Florida State. And he had a great start to his career at Florida State, as he actually be the ACC Rookie of the Year, but after this, he just was not that good for them, transferring to play for Hampton in his senior season. He was solid, but never amazing, and never made to the NFL, mostly playing in the UFL, and retired from professional football on October 7th. And coming in at number 11 is Jake Browning coming out of Folsom, California, who committed to play for Washington. And in his 4 seasons at Washington with the Huskies, he was a truly special and amazing quarterback, but sadly went undrafted in the 2019 NFL Draft and signed with the Vikings. And since then, he's just been a backup quarterback in the NFL and is currently on the Cincinnati Bengals roster. And just cracking into the top 10 is Drew Lock coming out of Lee Summit, Missouri, who committed to play for Missouri. And in his 4 seasons at Missouri, he was a truly amazing quarterback as well, as he'd be a first-team All-SEC selection and even led college football for passing touchdowns. He was going to be selected in the 2nd round of the 2019 NFL Draft by the Broncos, where he was a complete bust, bouncing around many different teams and was currently the Giants' backup this season. And at number 9 is Jawan Jennings coming out of Tennessee, who committed to play for the Tennessee Volunteers. And he was a quarterback recruit, but was immediately converted to wide receiver, where he played there for 5 seasons and was a solid receiver for the Volunteers. And he would go on to be selected in the 7th round of the 2020 NFL Draft by the 49ers, where he didn't look great in his first 3 seasons, but had an absolute breakout year this season. And coming in at number 8 is Travis Johnson coming out of Anaheim, California, who committed to play for the Oregon Ducks. And he just never played at Oregon in his 3 seasons there, so he transferred to play 1 season at JUCO before transferring to Montana. And at Montana, he played receiver and was solid, but went undrafted and signed with the Buccaneers, winning a Super Bowl with them, and is currently playing in the XFL. And at number 7 is Brady White coming out of Santa Clara, California, who committed to play for Arizona State. And in his time at Arizona State, he just basically saw no playing time, so in 2018, he transferred to Memphis. And in his 3 seasons at Memphis, he was a great quarterback for the Tigers and actually won the William V. Campbell Trophy, but sadly went undrafted in the 2021 NFL Draft and never made a roster. So after this, he became a coach and is currently Arizona State's assistant wide receivers coach. And coming in at number 6 is Ricky Town coming out of California, who committed to play for USC. And he never saw any playing time for the USC Trojans, so he transferred to Arkansas, where he also saw no playing time, and then in 2018, he transferred to Pitt, where he threw 1 pass. And he ended his college football career only completing 1 pass. And just cracking in the top 5 is Brandon Wimbush coming out of Jersey City, New Jersey, who committed to play for Notre Dame. And in his first 2 seasons at Notre Dame, he saw basically no playing time, but in 2017, he was their starting quarterback and was solid. After this season, though, he transferred to UCF, where he didn't do very much and is currently the vice president of strategic partnerships for Dual. And coming in at number 4 is Kyler Murray coming out of Allen, Texas, who committed to play for the Texas A&M Aggies. And in his true freshman season with the Aggies, he was just a bad quarterback and decided to transfer to play for Oklahoma. And it took him 3 seasons to become the starter for the Sooners, but in this season, he was great, throwing 42 touchdowns as he won the Heisman Trophy and also the Manning Award. And this led Kyler Murray to be selected first overall in the 2019 NFL Draft by the Arizona Cardinals, where he's been their great quarterback there for 6 seasons, making 2 Pro Bowls. And just cracking in the top 3 is Blake Barnett coming out of Corona, California, who committed to play for the Alabama Crimson Tide. At Alabama, he never did anything there in his 2 seasons, transferring to Arizona State in 2017, where he also didn't play, and then transferring to USF in 2018, where he didn't play the great there for 2 seasons either. He was just a complete bust of a college football quarterback. And coming in at number 2 is Josh Rosen, coming out of Bellflower, California, who committed to play for UCLA. And in his 3 seasons as UCLA starting quarterback, he was solid but never great, but still would go on to be selected 10th overall in the 2018 NFL draft by the Arizona Cardinals. And in the NFL, he was a complete bust, only playing with the Cardinals for 1 season before beginning to bounce around the NFL, last playing with the Minnesota Vikings practice squad in 2022. And the number 1 college football quarterback recruit was Jarrett Stidham, coming out of Stephenville, Texas, who committed to play for Baylor. He had a solid true freshman season at Baylor in 2015 before transferring to Auburn for the next 2 seasons, where he actually won SEC Newcomer of the Year and was a solid player there before being selected in the 4th round of the 2019 NFL draft by the Patriots. Sadly though, in the NFL, he's just been a backup quarterback and is currently playing for the Denver Broncos.